Let me just first of all get your overall thought on the budget.
With that preamble Mr. Patrick have just given out, I want to thank you and of course send my greetings to the listeners that are tuning in right now to Radio 4. The preamble just given out, it has struck out a very crucial topic. Is the opposition united enough to challenge the NRM in the 2026 elections? Wow, this is a wonderful topic to really talk about. Before I go any further, I am Vabla Esubiri Empererwe. Of course, Lumisi is Ashraf, the real name. And I'm your fearless guide through the Uganda's political landscape, and I promise you a sharp analysis whenever I am brought here on this radio. I will give you bold perspectives and raw facts as we dissect one of the most critical topics in our nation's democratic journey. Of course, now I want to call upon you all the listeners, whether you are cooking, whether you are stuck in traffic, or you are multitasking, this is your moment to stop everything and tune in to Radio 4. Why? This is because what we discuss here on Radio 4 is Uganda's today. It's not just about Uganda's today, it is about the future of Uganda, or the Uganda of tomorrow. Now, I'm just going to dive in, but before all along, I want to introduce myself to you so that you can know the man behind the microphone and the man speaking to you. Of course, Mr. Patrick, you spoke a lot and I was listening. It shows me that you too have a passion for your country because of introducing such good topics that really embark on our political landscape. I am Muvabula Yasubiri Emperere, as earlier told. I'm a passionate advocate for justice, and I'm a voice for the voiceless and a steward of progressive politics in Uganda. I'm born and bred in Imperere. I have walked the dusty roads of our communities. I have sat with our people and understood their hopes and struggles. So my journey in politics is not just about ambition. It is about service, leadership, and unshakable belief that Uganda deserves better. Esubiri Emperere is not just a name, it is a movement. I stand for accountability, grassroots mobilization, and the bold idea that power belongs to the people. Of course, with my experience in community development, coupled with my strategic insight into Uganda's political dynamics, I bring both a critical mind and a passionate heart to the table. Today, I delve into a topic that strikes at the core of our democracy. Is the opposition united enough to challenge the NRM? First and foremost, the unity of Uganda's opposition is not just a political necessity. It is a moral imperative if we are to see meaningful change, especially in a nation where one party has held power for decades. Mr. Patrick, it is quite absurd that this program is in English version, so I would suggest that if at all we can also get another program that is in Luganda or local language, so that everyone can understand what we discuss. I pray. Let us dive into the key issues now surrounding the opposition unity. By the look of things, I'm going to give you practical examples to highlight both successes and challenges. The current state of opposition unity is what I'm going to begin with. National Unity Platform, in short NUP, which is led by Robert Kyagulanyi, aka Bobby Wine. Of course, it has emerged as the largest opposition party. That is the fact, and you cannot deny the fact that it has emerged as the largest opposition party. Well, its performance in 2021 general elections was remarkable. You cannot skip that. Now, when you look at example here in Kampala and Wakiso, NUP dominated nearly all the parliamentary seats. However, their struggles in northern and western Uganda, it has continued to expose a significant challenge. Their support base is largely regional, which limits their national appeal. Here, I'm discussing as a political analyst. Meanwhile, older parties like the Forum for Democratic Change, once the dominant opposition force, they have seen their influence wane due to internal conflicts. For example, when you see the leadership tensions between Kizza Besigye and Patrick Amuriat Oboy, this weakened the party's cohesion, so leaving it fragmented when even unity was most needed. Mr. Patrick, the opposition must move beyond these divisions to build bridges across Uganda's diverse regions and demographics. The Ugandans must know that challenges to opposition unity, they include regionalism. Of course, as like any other opposition party, many opposition parties draw their strength from specific regions, which makes it hard to form a cohesive national strategy. Now, for example, when you see National Unity Platform is only strong in Uganda, whereas FDC's historical support lies in the north. Without a concerted effort to integrate these bases, the opposition cannot present a united front. What is my prayer and what is my suggestion to this problem? A united campaign platform that brings all regions under one message is really necessary. This would mean rallying behind issues like land rights, youth empowerment, and electoral reforms which resonate nationally. Number 2, there is too much ideological differences. When you look at the opposition parties, they often differ in their approach and vision. For example, NUP focuses heavily on youth-driven activism and human rights, while FDC prioritizes institutional reforms and governance. These ideological disparities create obstacles to a unified message. What is the solution here? We must have a shared manifesto that highlights overlapping priorities, such as fighting corruption and improving service delivery, that could bridge these gaps. I have seen a very good picture when Khalifa Aganaga the contesting candidate of Kawempe North coming up together when they had gone to visit a news reporter or a journalist who was beaten up badly, when they were communicating positively with Council Nalukola Elias Imbazi. And that is what we need in our country. We do not need wrangles even when we are sharing the common goal, when we have the same ambition. We must not fight ourselves. No, not at all. So by that, Khalifa Aganaga really showed a very significant picture, and of which I was not expecting out of him. So Khalifa Aganaga, that has put you on the table to be a good competitor in this by-election. Now, we have what we call leadership rivalries. Leadership disputes have been a consistent stumbling block, of course, for Uganda's oppositions. When you see the opponents, for example, now in the 2020 split within the Democratic Party, which saw key members defect to form NUP, weakened both parties at a critical time. Similarly, when you see Besigye and Amuriati's fallout divided the FDC. Now, which solutions am I here to give? We need a structured coalitions where leadership roles are distributed based on strength and contributions, similar to Kenya's National Super Alliance with NASA in 2017, could prevent such rivalries from derailing our progress. Government separation. We have seen the opposition, they also face significant challenges from state separation. For example, here in July 2024, security forces locked down NUP headquarters to disrupt a planned rally. No, I have even gone far. Just of recent here, they have they have locked down, they have searched, they have planted the security devices, the camera and the audio devices in the office of the president of the National Unity Platform. Of course, all these disrupt a planned rally, illustrating how government tactics undermined opposition mobilization. So it becomes very challenging to the opposition. Now, the opposition parties must engage international partners to advocate for fairer political space and leverage a grassroots network to organize more effectively. Working examples of united efforts coalition attempts. In 2016, the Democratic Alliance tried to unite opposition parties behind Amama Mbabazi, but it collapsed due to leadership disagreements. What do we learn from this? The future coalitions must prioritize compromise and shared vision over individual ambitions. We need grassroots mobilization. Bobi Wine, the People Power Movement, energized Uganda's youth like a key demographic in the electorate. Bobi Wine did door-to-door campaigns in Kamocha, which these were pivotal in building a strong grassroots base. So we have what we call cross-party collaboration. Now these ones are showing the strength and the successes of the opposition parties. In 2021, some FDC members campaigned alongside the NUP candidates in Uganda, showing that collaboration is possible. These alliances must expand to other regions to counter the NRM's nationwide machinery. The prospects for the future unity. Of course, for the opposition to challenge the NRM effectively, there must be structured coalitions. They should emulate successful models like Kenya's NASA, where opposition parties came together under one banner. Inclusive leadership. Leaders like Bobi Wine, Besigye, and others must find ways to share power within a coalition framework. So, lastly, I would give is international advocacy. These opposition parties, they need to partner with global organizations to demand electoral reforms and democratic freedoms, of which I take this as essential, so much essential. So I want to go off